Currently working with Extinction Rebellion, which is a global movement that's moving from Europe to the US. So thank you for the opportunity to be here all together and talk about our collective future. It's really exciting that we are willing to determine as a group how to best take action. I'm gonna keep this shorter because we're a little late, but I want to highlight that there are a lot of overlapping issues confronting our local as well as our global society. We can see them reflected in many ways under the umbrella of XR demands, which have been to tell the truth. So the government needs to tell the truth and work on an ecological emergency, to act now to halt biodiversity loss, move beyond politics and be led by decisions of a citizens' assembly on climate and ecological justice. And, you know, different from the global movement here in the United States, we have a demand for environmental justice, which includes a transition that prioritizes the most vulnerable people and indigenous sovereignty. We need to establish reparations and remediation led by and for Black people, indigenous people, people of color, and poor communities for years of environmental injustice, and establish legal rights for ecosystems to thrive and regenerate in perpetuity, as well as repairing the effects of ongoing ecocide to prevent extinction of human and all species and maintain a livable, just planet for all. We're grateful to the civil rights and indigenous movements who have been working for many of these goals and continue to reach out in solidarity despite the untold injustices they have suffered. Thanks especially to Indigenous organizer Vanessa Bolin for her time and feedback provided to Richmond's Extinction Rebellion. The goal to be carbon neutral by 2025 is a really big goal because we immediately think of carbon heavy investments that would be a new Coliseum in Navy Hill. We think of the developments that are being built while occupied buildings are allowed to fall apart at the hands and profits of slumlords. We think of all the injustices suffered by citizens and the commons by rampant exploitation with government approval on corporate projects. How many lives could not only be saved, but also wholly improved by restorative justice? This is why all of our issues are coming together. I'm sure Richmond for All probably has an answer to a lot of these questions, and many thanks to everyone in their organization who has been fighting to protect citizens from becoming homeless, as well as to stop the Coliseum. There are so many organizations represented here today that are filled with people who have been promoting grassroots growth consistently for a long time. We can see that demonstrated that all of these issues are linked, and we can make demands, but what consequences do we have to offer? As nonviolent activists, our demand is for declaration of climate emergency, and Extinction Rebellion invites all interested parties to join us in preparing for a hunger strike. It's a long process to move in and out of a hunger strike safely and in a healthy manner. It's a big ask, but we want to put our bodies on the line for daily action while remaining able to participate in collective actions. We hope that the government will grant us the dignity of declaring climate emergency and then take action without the additional pressure of a strike. But we are making plans as a contingency response to the possibility of their continued complacency. Please especially come to our community meetings, even if you cannot participate in a hunger strike. We're hosting them on Saturdays at the Cabell Library at 12:30. This is every Saturday unless there's a fifth Saturday. So please come join us in mutual support as you can, and thank you so much for being here today and playing a role in a sustainable future.